On my synthesizer demonstrations, I like to use a microphone so that I can explain to you what I'm doing and also react to the sounds. And a lot of you, I think, enjoy that, but it does pose a number of challenges when you're using a microphone together with a keyboard. The first thing is that the placement of the microphone can be a bit awkward. You'll need to use a microphone stand, of course, which might get in the way of me or my playing or obscure the shot. The microphone itself, you need to get quite close, and that will obscure my face from the camera or perhaps even my hands, so you can't really see what I'm playing, or even worse, obscure it for me so that I can't see the screen, for example, if I'm doing a software synthesizer demonstration. So that is the first challenge. The second thing is the acoustics and the audio quality. As you're probably hearing, I'm in a concrete room, a rectangular box here with a lot of room noise and echo, which is undesirable. To get rid of that, you have to have the microphone very close to you. But that again is awkward if you're trying to play the piano and explain what you're doing at the same time. So that's also a bit of a challenge. The other thing, of course, even more so, is that the microphone will tend to pick up the sound of the keys clunking, which also ruins the audio demonstration of the synthesizer that you're trying to do. You really do have to minimize the clunking of the keys. The only way I've found of doing that satisfactorily and reliably is to go into your video editor, find all the parts where I'm not talking, and then mute the microphone. And actually, you don't even want to mute it. You just want to pull down the volumes by about 12, 18 dBs or something, so that the sound of the keys clacking and clunking doesn't become distracting. And that, my friends, I can tell you, is a ton of work. And I've tried to use automated processes for that, like side chaining, ducking, noise gates, and so on, but they just don't work reliably. The only way is to do a lot of editing in the video post-processing process, and that is a lot of work that I don't really enjoy. So I've always been looking for a better solution. Some of these things could be solved by using a lavalier microphone, which I've tried on a number of occasions. The only issue with those is that they are omnidirectional, and they really do pick up the noise of the keys, because if you think about it, if you're sitting and playing on a surface and you have your lavalier microphone here, it's equally distant from the keys and your mouth, and it does pick up a ton of clunking and clanking key noise, which really isn't good. Also, I found on a couple of occasions that the headphones that you always have to wear when you're doing a demonstration, the lead of that tends to interfere with the lavalier mic with disastrous results. For the majority of stuff that you're going to do on this, you can always hook it up to a MIDI controller if you want something else. So both a pro and a con, the 37 mini keys. The other thing, of course, as you're doing a demonstration, a musician tends to move around quite a little bit and get off axis from the microphone or further and closer to it, and that makes the audio editing, also in the mixing, a lot more time consuming, because you need to compensate and adjust for that to get the best possible audio quality of the vocals for the viewers. And by the way, the microphone you've been hearing so far is the classic vocal microphone, the Shure SM58, going into a Focusrite Scarlett USB audio interface. That's what you're hearing. I won't be applying very much effects to the vocals on this video, just a little bit of gain increase to get the volume levels appropriate and the loudness correct for YouTube. I've given this a lot of thought, as you might be able to tell. I've been making synthesizer videos for the last 5 or 6 years, and this has always been challenging, but I think I found the ultimate solution. So without further ado, let's connect it up and I'll give you a demonstration. Okay, so here we go. This is a professional broadcast microphone from Audio Technica, and the microphone is attached here to a boom arm. And I know we have to get over this. I do look a little bit dorky, like a wannabe Cessna pilot or a sports commentator or something, but let's just get over that. Perhaps it can be a bit of a thing for my channel, but the most important thing is, what is the audio quality like? How is this sounding to you? Please do let me know in the comments. So the placement of the microphone is extremely critical. You don't want to have it right in front of your gob, otherwise it's going to be picking up far too many mouth noises, plosives, pops and wind noise and snorts and so on, but hopefully I've got this one about right. But this is something I'm going to have to figure out. I've not really listened to this before myself, so you and I will be listening to this together as I edit the video and publish it for the first time. I've applied the bare minimum of effects in post-production, just a little bit of volume normalization to get the sound levels up to an appropriate level for YouTube. So yes, this is a very convenient solution, I think. Firstly, the microphone is very close to my mouth, so you won't be hearing as much room noise and acoustic echoes and so on as you were hearing with the old Shure microphone. Certainly, I hope that's the case anyway. The other thing is it's so close to my mouth. This is a cardioid microphone as well, meaning it's directional, so it's only picking up sound in this direction, and hopefully, as I play the keys, you won't be hearing quite so much of that noise, which will make life easier, a lot easier for me as I edit the videos. Another thing I'm noticing is when you have a microphone some distance away from you, it kind of encourages you subconsciously to shout a little bit, to raise your voice and bellow into the microphone. I don't want to yell at my viewers. This might be a better solution because I feel already right now I can just chill out a little bit and speak a little bit more softly in the knowledge that you'll still be able to hear me, and I hope you like that effect. Did I mention it? But yes, super nice not to have any cumbersome microphone stands getting in the way that you're going to trip over. In fact, I've had it happen to me that the microphone has fallen out of the little holder and fallen down onto a $2,000 synthesizer, which isn't ideal, but no risks of that at all. We've got one cable here which carries both the microphone signal and the headphones to me. And that goes directly into my audio interface. And the nice thing about this particular model, as it's a professional broadcast mic, it has a splitter at the end, like a Y splitter. So you can connect the headphones in, as normally, into the audio interface or mixer. And you can also connect in the microphone via an XLR plug, which is the standard professional connection for microphones. So that's really good. And another thing I'm noticing immediately, it's really nice being able to move my head around, look at different things and point to different things and know that it won't affect the volume of my voice. I think that's pretty cool, actually. Again, no risk of the headphone cable here interfering with any lavalier microphone. Another thing I wanted to mention about lavalier microphones, they are a nice solution in many occasions. If I'm doing an unboxing video, for example, showing you, giving you a tour of a synthesizer, it's quite nice because you can move around. But the thing with lavalier microphones is that they don't plug into a professional audio interface or mixer directly. You always have to have some kind of body pack recorder or wireless transmitter. That's really what they're designed for. So that's a bit of an overkill, really, if I'm just sitting here and playing a synthesizer. But all this means nothing if it sounds crap. So I'm really looking forward to listening to the results of this myself, getting your feedback as well. But I think it will be good enough, and the convenience of it means that it will improve the turnaround of my videos. The setup, teardown, the editing will be so much easier because I can just record this, since it's coming through my audio interface, as a separate track in Reaper here, together with another track for the synthesizer. Then I can just mix them in my DAW, export that and import it into my video production suite. That should make life a lot easier, quicker for me. I can make better videos, faster videos, more of them. Another observation I have is that the gain on the Focusrite here is lower than it is when I had the SM58, which is another good thing. Lower gain here means less noise, less background noise, hissing and so on, although it's generally pretty good, so you wouldn't notice it anyway. But it's nice for my peace of mind to know that I can use a lot less gain than I had with the 58. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this relaxed style of talking instead of yelling into a microphone. Wonderful! Now, normally when I'm performing, you may have noticed I'm using a pair of Grado headphones, and the reason I like those is because they are open back, so I can hear my voice as I'm talking to you. Now, these are closed back, which means that I can't hear it. They're a bit like ear defenders. I can't hear anything, so you do need to use some monitoring. And that's a reason I switched to the Focusrite interface here, because it has a nice suite of software called Focusrite Control, so you can set up mixes so that I can hear my own voice and adjust the balance of my voice together with the synthesizer so I can hear what I'm saying whilst I'm talking to you, and also hear the sound of the synthesizer, of course. So that's really nice. This, if you're curious, is a 4-in, 4-out interface. You need at least 3 channels for synthesizer demos, of course. 2 for the synthesizer, the stereo, and 1 for the microphone. One thing I'd like to do before we finish the video is thank my patrons and channel members who are funding my channel and making it possible for me to buy gear like this. This was actually a bit of an expensive purchase. The headset itself was about $250 here in Europe. The audio interface about the same, so that's $500. Had to buy a bunch of cables, the stands for the camera. I've invested quite a lot back into the channel actually in recent weeks, so I'm all in about $600 or $700, and that wouldn't be possible without the support of my patrons and channel members. So thank you again to one and all. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I just wanted to see what the rejection was like as I play the keyboard here. So this is kind of, I don't play too hard actually. I'm not bashing on the keys. I do like to play with a soft touch. And remember, even if you're hearing a little bit of clunking and clacking now from the keys, that will be masked to a large extent when you actually are hearing the sound of the synthesizer mixed into it. Yeah, I think this will be okay, but I'll know for sure when I edit the video. Wow, I'm beginning to get this kind of radio voice. I can hear myself in my headphones. I apologize if it's a bit too much. This is going to take a bit of getting used to, but that's all I had for you today. Hope you enjoyed the video and thought it was interesting. It's a bit of a surprise to me why more keyboard playing YouTubers aren't using a setup like this. Perhaps it's just because it does look a little bit odd. We'll get used to it. Thanks, I'll see you next time. Cheerio.
Fast thought number one. Fast thought number one.